This is a murder suspect making a break from a SWAT team. And the reason he keeps falling is that he most likely broke his ankle. Because moments earlier, as the SWAT team arrived on site, the suspect jumped out of the second floor window and made a run for it. Bad ankle versus good boy. You know how that ends. But successful SWAT operations are boring, which is why the rest of this video is all about excessive use of force, breaking into grandma's house uninvited, lethal prank calls to the police, and huge distractions. When hostages are involved, you have to act quickly. Blow up the window and throw in a flashbang for good measure. Then get in to secure the train, like the Serbian SWAT team did. Now that's the feeling I get when I play Ready or Not, who's sponsoring this video. Compare that with this Russian SWAT team. There is definitely no longer a hostage situation here, because I don't think there are any more hostages. At this point, they might as well have ordered an airstrike. I'm kidding, of course. This was just a drill. But that's exactly why they train, so they can do this, which is a huge improvement compared to the prior year. That said, I'd still recommend that you avoid being taken hostage in Russia at all costs. This is the Russian Spetsnaz during a training exercise. And while the footage does look quite impressive, and the fact that they didn't blow up the entire minibus this time, it's still an overkill. The bottom line is, taking hostages in Russia is just a waste of time. You know what else is a waste of time? Raiding the home of 77-year-old grandmas.
I see stuff like this on the movie, but I didn't think it'd ever happen.
Well, we knew you were a star, so we were going to make you a movie star today.
Spoiler alert, she didn't become a movie star, but she didn't need to after winning a $4 million lawsuit as compensation. But why criminals shouldn't be live streaming their success on the internet? What happens when SWAT teams break into homes without even knocking on the door? Why some tactical teams prefer to shoot at party balloons? And how a SWAT attack resulted in banning a gamer from playing video games is not what you think. A SWAT team is a blunt force, and I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg and his buddies on a Tuesday night. You may find it shocking, but it's typically your everyday police officers who make up the majority of SWAT teams. Yes, the same people in charge of community engagement and traffic enforcement. You know, I've always said police body cams are crucial to reveal the bigger picture. Let me know when you're done reviewing the evidence. The thing is, to be able to deal with hostage situations and barricaded subjects, these hard-working police officers must be trained with special weapons and tactics, hence the name SWAT. SWAT officers are equipped differently from regular police officers, and that's evident when you play Ready or Not, which offers dozens of options to customize a player's entire SWAT team, including their armor, weapons, and apparel. But no matter how much training these officers undergo, sometimes they make really dumb mistakes. What would you do if a SWAT team broke into your house and then left their battering ram behind? This house owner listed it for sale in the hopes of taking the proceeds and replacing his door. But the consequences are much worse when SWAT teams raid the homes of innocent people. In 2023, the Denver Police Department SWAT team stormed into an apartment looking for a man suspected of attempted murder. To their surprise, a woman comes out of the house, followed by her daughter with her hands up in the air. Inside the unit, there were only two little girls, one screaming from seeing armed men in their house. It turned out that the SWAT team had made a giant mistake. Instead of entering apartment 307, which was across the hallway, they targeted apartment 306. I know, numbers can be tricky. Luckily, in this case, no one was injured. Although it could have ended up more tragic, as it has in the past, where innocent people ended up injured or even worse. I wanted to better understand the extreme pressure that SWAT teams operate under. So I reached out to the Toronto Police SWAT team, or Emergency Task Force as they call it. The thing is, that someone from their office never got back to me. So I did the next best thing that I could. Ready or Not is an immersive and extremely realistic SWAT experience as you and your SWAT team deal with various high-stakes situations, both in single and online co-op gameplay modes. This is not your typical fast-paced first-person shooter game. And yes, just like in real life, you can make mistakes, like the Evansville Police Department SWAT team did in 2012. That was a flashbang grenade being tossed into a house because someone from this house had posted detailed threatening messages online about killing police officers. Inside the house, the SWAT team found a confused 18-year-old girl who looked like she was 8 and her 68-year-old mother. Well, it later turned out that the family's Wi-Fi router didn't have a password, so someone had been able to connect to it to post those threatening messages. That person was eventually arrested by the FBI. In true American fashion, the homeowner sued the city of Evansville, and the case was settled for an undisclosed amount, which I hope included a password-protected router. I should highlight a critical point here. Before breaking in, the SWAT team did knock and announce that they had a search warrant. But that's not always the case. The judge who issues the warrant may determine that knocking on a door and announcing police presence could be more dangerous, or that it would give suspects a chance to destroy any evidence. And that's how you get a no-knock warrant. In July 2023, when the Seattle Police SWAT team broke into a building to rescue 2 women who'd been taken hostage, the man who was arrested, let's just say, was not dressed for the occasion, even though the police had announced their presence. But if a no-knock warrant is issued for the wrong address by mistake, the results can be catastrophic, like in the high-profile case of Breonna Taylor. In 2020, Breonna was at home with her boyfriend when they heard intruders breaking into the house. Except for it was the Louisville police officers executing a no-knock warrant. The boyfriend fired a warning shot, which injured one of the officers. The police returned fire, which resulted in the death of Breonna Taylor. In its aftermath, Taylor's family was awarded $12 million in compensation, and no-knock warrants were banned in Louisville, Kentucky, even though they can still be issued in many cities across the United States. There have been cases where burglars have robbed homes by simply pretending to be officers with a no-knock warrant. This machine is the Swiss Army knife of SWAT teams and is called the ROOK. You want to break down the garage door? The ROOK has a hydraulically powered breaching arm to bring down any doors or walls. You want to move the team close to the danger zone? The ROOK has an armored shield which can hold and transport up to 4 people. If needed, the shield can be raised up to 11 feet into the air or just placed on the ground. The breaching arm isn't only for breaking down walls. Not only does it have 5 cameras that allow the SWAT team and the command center to have eyes inside the building, but it can also be equipped with a gas deployment system. So you can stick it into a room or building and then pump anything from fart spray to tear gas or other incapacitating agents. Okay, I may have added the part about the fart spray. There's also a grapple claw, which is especially useful if the suspect is thought to be hiding inside the attic. These unique attachments make the ROOK a valuable tool for various tactical situations. And because this machine is custom built based on the Caterpillar skid steer, it's quite compact, which means it can navigate inside buildings and tight areas. The ROOK is used only under extreme circumstances, like on March 10, 2024, when a suspect refused to come out of his house after 5 hours of negotiations. And when the SWAT team tried to enter, he started shooting at them. Over the course of a few more hours, he fired over 400 rounds at the SWAT team. That's when they brought in the ROOK. The suspect even fired at the ROOK, but of course, that was futile. He eventually died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It's worth noting that just like the ROOK is rarely used, so are SWAT teams in general. Only certain police departments in the United States have full-time dedicated SWAT teams, usually in larger cities. And the rest are full-time police officers who get called in on SWAT duty as needed. And as you're about to see, on rare occasions, as not needed. Some criminals love to live stream their success on the internet.
This shit don't stop, man. We got this shit, man. This shit don't stop, man. This shit don't stop, man. It's the first of the month.
Given that this guy was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder, I think the shit did stop, man. But one of the worst cases of modern trolling gone too far is swatting. That's when someone calls 911 reporting a violent crime, usually a hostage situation, as a prank, with the hopes of getting a SWAT team dispatched to a particular address. Except for this knock-knock joke is not funny. It's a crime, it's dangerous, and it's gotten people killed. There have been instances of gamers swatting their fellow gamers during live streams, like in the summer of 2014, when someone called the police claiming to be the gamer Jordan Matthewson and told them he had shot his co-workers. This is what happened minutes after, as Jordan was live streaming, having no idea what was about to go down. Even in one of the missions in Ready or Not, you lead a SWAT team into the residence of a suspected streamer character named Michael Williams, who happens to be live streaming during the raid. That's, of course, just one of the 18 single-player or online co-op missions that you can play with up to 5 players. And the new free downloadable content includes 2 brand new missions. A similar thing happened to gamer Kyle Giersdorf. He won $3 million in July 2019 after becoming the world's first Fortnite World Cup champion. But a couple of weeks later, he was swatted while live streaming from his home. Luckily, in both cases, no one was hurt. But what happened in this next swatting incident was truly tragic.
You guys are in crossfire.
On December 28, 2017, Andrew Finch became the unintended victim of swatting, sparked by a petty argument between 2 Call of Duty World War II players over a $1.50 bet. One of the players, furious, threatened to have the other swatted and reached out to a well-known anonymous online swatter to make it happen. The thing is, the second gamer had provided a false address, which happened to be the residence of the 28-year-old father of 2, Andrew Finch. In this case, the officers who showed up at the scene were regular police officers with no SWAT training. Andrew Finch stepped out on his porch, completely confused as to why police officers were at his house, yelling at him. One of the officers ended up firing a lethal shot at Andrew. The online swatter who had made the 911 call was later arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison. The gamers were both sentenced to less than 2 years of imprisonment and were banned from playing video games for 2 years. Swatting is a serious crime. Don't do it. Typically, any SWAT team would have a negotiator and a sniper. Take this 14-hour-long standoff with a man who had barricaded himself at home as an example.
Looking for a peaceful resolution. Unarm yourself.
He finally gave in to the negotiations and surrendered. But negotiations don't always work. When a gunman is wearing a bulletproof vest and a helmet and holding hostages, sometimes a sniper is the only way to proceed. But targeting a gunman in the face or neck is extremely difficult, especially if he's moving around. This is why Marine SWAT teams conduct stress drills with the help of balloons. To create a stressful scenario, three things happen. First, Marines are put into a shooting competition, and competitions are naturally stressful. Second, they're given a limited time to act, so now they're racing against time. And third, they're forced to do some physical exercises. Only then they're ready to snipe at balloons. Why balloons, you ask? It's simple. Balloons look like shooters' heads, and since they're jiggly targets, hitting them is more difficult. Ready or Not is coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS on July 15, 2025. After being launched on PC in 2023, Ready or Not is now coming with full crossplay across all platforms. Click the link below to pre-order the game and get exclusive bonuses, including the M32A1 grenade launcher, the Mark V pistol, and the 590M shotgun. Are you ready or not?